probably takes me, if I'm watching 3 different tapes, 40-minute games, but by the time you have to break it down, so you're looking at probably about 8 hours for that. And then you're going to meet with your assistant, and you're going to go over the clips you have and the clips they have, and you're going to consolidate it, and the assistant's going to put that together in a database. Then you're going to write up the scouting report. Defense is here, offense is here.
And I have a suggestion. Can we do with twice, once from the wing, once from the baseline?
Yes, that's a good idea. Get scored on, they have 5 push-ups. Makes the pass to the coach, cuts, and the 4 comes up, and we work on the high-low. Then we'll do score and stop, break special. Then we're going to do brick pit. Then we're going to skull the zone looks. We'll go full court 25, makes or misses. The 3 making the pass to the 5 and setting the screen. Then you're going to go over that scouting report with your team and have a film session. And then you're going to remind them during practice. And then during our shoot-around, we'll cover everything that we're getting ready for that particular opponent. 1 through 4, okay, will be a switch. 1 through 4 is a switch. This team, you can go down with them because if their 5 hits that, they hit that, depending on whether their 5 is number 2 or number 11. And we'll let you know that as they come in. Right?
11 cannot shoot. That's their 5 player. Cross screen, point guard comes across and then sets a cross screen. There's a ball screen and a double screen opposite. Number 42 will post up. 24 is their shooter. 34 loves to drive right. She does not feel comfortable driving left. 34, she killed us on it in the last game. Push her left.
34, she's the one taking all the risks. Recapping, drive, keep in front, 3-point threat, must defend, Number 3, strong, physical, and aggressive, can help, keep her off the boards, must box. Top 3-point shooter, 4X, high stays high, low stays low, need to be ready to help on the post-up. Miscellaneous.
Second offense.
And then when we have our shoot-around, I'll quiz them and say, hey, Andy, number 1, who's the point guard? And they say, number 1, score, half her shots are 3s, we got to keep in front, and they're responsible for knowing that information. And once in a while, a kid freezes up, but pretty much they're right on target. And it might not be your position. I might call on you and say, all right, who's the center? What's the number? What do they do well? And every kid from 1 through 14 has to know every position.
I was in the film session. Is it too much information to absorb at one time? I mean, it seems like a lot of information. Is it hard to absorb everything and then not only absorb it and then kind of act it out, I guess?
Yeah, we definitely are given a lot of information, during film and going over scout, but I think it helps us all. I'm more of like a visual person and like actually doing it. So when we practice, their plays, it comes easier to me, and then we learn, okay, these are the tendencies coach is talking about in film that we have to do. So it's easier as the days go on and we practice them, and then we're given the scout so we can look it over too and kind of go back and review it.
Witnessed a practice of shooting drills, shooting. Give me an idea of the different concepts that were embedded in this practice today.
You have to go at a high intensity and you have to make a high number of shots. The goal was to have a very overall diversified workout, and we do a couple different things with the posts as opposed to the guards, with the post not shooting 3s unless it's a 3-point shooting post. So we want to make sure there's ball handling involved. We want to make sure there's some offensive moves involved. We want to make sure there's rapid fire shooting involved. There's some form shooting involved. What I try to do is, kids these days, you don't want to be in the gym the whole day. So if you can go this workout for 30 to 45 minutes and you can be successful, then you can judge yourself. I think kids want to know how they're doing in a workout, and this way it's a quantitative workout. You can figure out exactly where you stand.
Are you guys tallying every shot?
We're tallying everything. It's either number-oriented or it's time-oriented. And so this way it tells you exactly where you stand. I mean, if you want to be a great shooter, you've got to shoot great on a regular basis. So these kids are able to judge exactly where they stand.
Are you doing this shooting drill once a week, more than once a week?
In this session of summer school, we have a few numbers. Our big session of summer school is the second session in July. So with short numbers, we do 2 workouts a week. One is really a mixed bag of a lot of different things, and the second one is one of the challenges. And so each week we do a different challenge. There's 3 different challenges, and this way they're able to judge exactly how far they're moving along. Lauren is more of a gritty, gutty point guard.
Coach gets us very prepared for each game. I mean, we do scout, we watch film, and in practice, it's very important that we come in focused. Coach really emphasizes that. We come in focused and ready to go, and just communication on defense and everything like that on the court.
You think you're going to walk on the court at base and win playing like this? You're crazy.
Hey, bring it in on this one. We're a lot better than how we're playing. Just like Dad says, come off a great win and come and hurt and BS. Myself included.
There's no energy, there's nobody talking. We're just in our own world because we're losers. We can still come back. We gotta stop feeling sorry for ourselves.
For me, I personally focus on defense. Every game is obviously equally important, but this game in particular, they have a lot of great perimeter players, and personally, I want to play the best defense I can play to stop their perimeter game and them offensively. I think about what I have to do, and then what they're good at offensively, and staying focused on guarding their strengths and taking away their strengths. Yes, after we do film, we study. We come into practice and we study and we go over their plays offensively. We practice their tendencies offensively, so then we know what to do on screens, or if they have a specific play, we know if we're fighting over, getting under on screens, and how we're guarding that. Oh yeah, that's always something that's on the scout. If they're a driver, if they're a shooter, we have all of that, so then we know how to play them. We usually go over how the post plays, if they like going over their right shoulder, if they go going over their left shoulder, and then the post players guard them a specific way according to what coach puts down on the scout for the other players. Yeah, it can be hard to do things out of our comfort zone sometimes, just because a lot of teams mix it up offensively or even defensively. They might play the zone, and we've had times this year where they have face guarded some of our players, so it's just an adjustment to each and every game, but coach prepares us really good for each game, so we're always prepared stepping into the games.
Do you make suggestions to the coaching staff based on how they prepare you for the game?
No, not really. I just kind of do what coach tells us to do. I mean, if it's something it's maybe not with basketball, but sometimes we ask her to do stuff outside of basketball. I just think something that keeps going through my mind, and I think through everyone's minds too, is they came on our home court last time and they beat us, and that's we take that feeling personal. We take that personal. I mean, you came into our house and beat us on our home court, so we're coming hungry and ready to go to play them on their court and get a W.
Your 4-year career as a Fordham basketball player is coming to the home stretch. What are the thoughts and emotions that are going through your head at this stage of the year?
It's crazy because I feel like time goes by really fast. I can remember when I was, back in middle school, working on my jump shot with my dad in the gym, and it's crazy that, my playing career is going to be over in the next, month or so. But it was an awesome journey, and it's just been a great experience, especially here at Fordham. The memories I have with my family at home, and then my basketball family here. So, you know, at home my dad's a coach, my pop-up was a coach, my uncle's a coach, so they taught me everything, you know, throughout high school and middle school and elementary school. So, you know, to bring it here and then to play with Fordham here, it's just been like an awesome experience overall. 8th grade, I really got serious about it and serious about wanting to play in college. I have coaches that believe in me every day, and I'm very grateful that they gave me this opportunity. So, oh my gosh, there's so many things I'm gonna miss. Just being around everyone here, it's just such a family atmosphere, and everyone cares about each other, and you know, it means so much to play for a coach and play for a program like that, because you know you're gonna forget, you know, the points, you're gonna forget the stats, but like most importantly, like you're not going to forget about you know, the time and the moments you shared together. And you know, just like even after that win today, it was a tough win, but you know, to get a win like that, it's just like things like that I'm definitely gonna miss. I'm a communications major, and I'm not really sure what I want to do right after college. I think I want to try to get into coaching. I'm not sure at what level yet. I'm thinking maybe high school, or try to do maybe like a grad assistant, but I definitely am interested in advertising and marketing, so I was thinking about possibly using my degree for that, but I'm not sure yet. There's a lot of options.
You still think you'll play recreationally?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely want to keep playing. I don't think overseas, but I definitely want to, you know, keep playing. I know my uncle's a coach at Lower Cape May Regional High School, where I'm from, and I know that like I would totally be into like hopping into one of their practices or something like that, or playing pickup. So.
What advice do you give, or would you give to new players coming to Fordham?
I would just give them the advice of, you know, have fun and be happy, and just, you know, go out and just work your heart out.
Anything you won't miss?
Anything I won't. maybe running a little bit, but other than that.
Well, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Our final honoree is a 4-year member of the Rams and is also a 2-time team captain. A starter midway through her freshman season, she has started in 90 consecutive contests and has missed just one game in her career. She has amassed 110 career starts, over 125 career appearances, ranked 5th and 7th all-time respectively. She recently broke the program's career greatest play record, now up to 4,226, and currently is number 1 in the country in women's play career with 38 points in. After finishing 4th the year ago at 39.42 and setting the single-season school minutes record, she is 18th all-time in school history with 1,093 points. Her 204 three-pointers ranked 4th all-time, and her 84.9% free throw percentage sits 5th as well. Ladies and gentlemen, escorted by her parents, Alyssa and her brother Pat, her sister Lindsay, Lauren Holden. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to celebrate Lauren's 1,000th point scored in Fordham uniform with a commemorative ball. With her first basket dating back on January 20th, a 3-pointer, she became the 21st member of the program's 1,000 point club. Congratulations, Lauren!
It was
Mary, here's what happens, Mary. You were the original defender on Kendall, and you right away assumed that she was gonna come up of it, so you dropped off. And Kendall can shoot; she can shoot from here, right? So as soon as you see that she's not climbing up full speed, but she takes that dribble here to try to see over here, and then if she comes to like take charge, just chuck her. I'm not gonna call her charge. Just go and take the ball.
Coach Jess Simmons, she's actually from New Jersey. She's our post coach. She played at GW in Providence, played professionally, so you know, she's played at the high level. What she brings in is just vocal leadership. I think a lot of passion. I think she has a great knowledge of the game and understanding, you know, on both ends. Megan Cunningham, she is from just outside of Philadelphia. She actually, the last year she spent at St. Francis, PA. Very excited about her because I think she's she has a great work ethic. She's a go-getter. She has great personal skills, and I think she's gonna be a great coach. She's already shown that she can be a very good recruiter, which I'm excited about. And then Lauren Holden, who obviously had a chance to coach her for the last 4 years at Fordham. She was a starting point guard at Fordham, 1,000-point scorer, and I'm very excited about her. The day she came into my office, right after when I told the Fordham team that I was leaving, she came into the office and she just said, "Coach, I want to be a coach. I want to coach. Like can you please take me with you? I don't care what I have to do. I'm just gonna do everything." And you love that about her, but that's kind of how she's been, how she was as a player. It just was willing to do whatever it took to help the team win. So I'm very excited just because she's gonna bring a lot of knowledge of what we're gonna be building here and teaching here. She already knows our defensive principles and how important communication is, and and just the competitiveness. She's extremely competitive. And she has great positive energy, but at the same time, when it's time to work, like, she will work hard. So I'm looking forward to her working with our guards, especially our point guards. I think she's gonna be able to really mentor them and really help them grow their game.
How does it feel to be a college coach?
It feels very unreal, but I'm also very blessed for this opportunity to be working with such a great head coach and coaching staff. I mean, everybody here is just awesome, and I'm really excited to work with everybody. I think a lot of things that I will be doing, and then also like the other coaches, is just really focus on building a culture here for the women's program and for the women's basketball team. Just making sure, just very similar to Fordham, like the standards we had there, and just making sure that, these women are developing on and off the court, not just being great basketball players, but also being great people as well, and focusing on academics and just really setting that bar high for them.
Just the other day, they announced you officially as an assistant coach. Have you found your voice yet, or are you just kind of thinking about how to go about what you're doing?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, so a lot of the drills were drills that I did at Fordham, so I'm familiar with a lot of them. So, I know what teaching points there are and things like that. So, it's nice that they're familiar.
Any thoughts about the things that you'd like to see implemented?
I would say from like a leadership perspective, I would say, just being at Fordham and, being, captain there, kind of bringing that into practice a little bit. And I think teaching some of the players we have now that leadership role and how crucial that is to, hold your teammates accountable, and especially with the point guard position, and, developing them into leaders on and off the court. Something I learned under coaching and now working with her that I didn't really know or maybe understand as well as a player was how much time and energy and hard work that she puts into basketball being a coach. Clearly, like, we all knew that at Fordham and how good of a coach she was, how much time she put into it. But being on the other side of it, you really see the things behind the scenes, and therefore you really take a step back and appreciate, Coach Angela, what she did that much more. And you realize, hey, she did this for, me when I was a player, and just the time and energy she's putting into this team right now is just amazing, and just seeing that really just opens up, my eyes, and seeing her in that light. Something that I think that I understand more, just seeing it from the other side, not just players, but like also a coach's side. Why, our coaches would get frustrated at us if we didn't really understand anything, or we didn't come into practice necessarily all in and focused, and interpreting what the coaches are saying, and then applying that listening part and being focused. That was really emphasized at Fordham, especially during our practices. And now teaching that on the other side of being a coach, I understand now why it might be a little frustrating sometimes, certain things.
Since you were announced as an assistant, how have you evolved as a coach in just the 3 or 4 months?
There's a lot that goes into being a coach that you don't see as a player. You really don't see the behind the scenes, just like what I talked about earlier with Coach Angie. Like, you really don't understand the time and energy that goes into recruiting, that goes into breaking down film, that goes into planning practice, that goes into, you know, wanting to make a team better. As a player, you don't really see that side of it, and so to be able to see that as a coach and seeing that side, I feel like that's part of myself that I think that hasn't evolved.
Have you found your voice yet in terms of relating to the players on and off the court? Is that a work in progress?
It's definitely a work in progress still. Just trying to figure out how certain players like to be talked to and things like that. But I think a lot of it, just because of the experience that I had as a captain at Fordham, I kind of almost when I am here at practice, I almost put myself in that position where it's like, okay, like talk and speak as you would in Fordham's practice as, you know, a leader or captain, and I kind of try to apply that here to practice. But also, you know, I add that teaching part to it as well, that coaching part. She's been awesome. She's been really encouraging, and you know, she just says, you know, like, Elle, don't be afraid to, you know, speak up and say anything. It's just like what you did at Fordham, like how you were a captain, how you were a leader. Like, speak up like that during practices. That's what we need from you in order to be successful. I just really think it all starts with building a foundation here and coming in from scratch and just starting new. Just building that culture. And you know, like at Fordham, you know, especially you know, under Coach Gaitley and Coach Angie, you know, the rest of the coaches there, culture is what we really emphasized. Was really emphasized, and you know, our standards that we had, you know, how we acted on and off the court, how we, you know, held each other accountable, how we did the right things. Not all the time. People made mistakes. You know, I made mistakes too, but you know, we held each other accountable. There was discipline, and I think that's why we were so successful as a team there. And there's no doubt in my mind that, you know, Coach Ange brings that here to FDU, and I think that's what we really want these girls to experience, is that you know, feeling of a family, and the feeling of, you know, being a part of a culture, and you know, FDU women's basketball, you know, having those certain standards so that we could be successful as a program. Some of the most important things, especially to the point guards, that we want to emphasize is, you know, being that second voice on the court and being that extension of the coach on the court for us. That's one of the most important things. The second thing is defense. Always, you know, one who pressures the ball and, you know, always turns around and says to their team, hey, like, let's go, we're going to get a stop. And just from another thing from that point guard position, just being that leader on and off the court as well.